Obviously, you went the distance on Sundays. How the squad's looking? Is there any players unavailable for tomorrow's match?
There are some unavailable. I have Martinez, Varane. We have to see how Bruno Fernandes is. We don't know yet, it's a question mark. But I think for the rest, we are quite okay.
We obviously saw the image of the protective boot and the crutches online, but the fact he might be involved tomorrow suggests that he's avoided serious injuries.
Yeah, it's more often that players that we protect them, prevention, but it has to settle down. So we all have seen he played full game, and it happened in the first half. But yeah, Thursday, so tomorrow is quick, but we have to see coming hours what is possible.
You come into a few of these press conferences and said about your team that has not done well and you've got to bounce back. Your opposite number tomorrow has got to do exactly the same thing. How difficult will that make it for Manchester United?
We had some. It was not so often that we had to bounce back. Oh yeah, definitely. But it happened with all the great teams, even Real Madrid.
I can't remember that.
No? No, but it's obvious. They had really bad defeat, and of course then they are mad, and that can be fuel for bounce back. Yeah, but as I said, but it's about us, and opponent can never be more hungry as we. And that is how we have to prepare the game, and so make sure tomorrow we are ready to go front foot and be dominant and dictate the game.
How have you done it on the odd occasion this season that it's happened? Because you've clearly got good players. You say all the time that they've proved that they're good players, but when they don't play to your expectations, what do you tell them? What do you say?
It's not always the same. It depends on what is the reason behind, and then it depends on the reason you tell them. So it's about situational leadership. I call it.
Call it what? Sorry.
So from out of the situation,
right?
You take the lead. You give the message. So that depends on the occasion.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Richard.
Erik, what sort of significance do you put on this game in terms of the goal of finishing in the top four? Because when you look at the points you've already accrued, the games in hand, the relative position of the two teams, how significant would a victory in this match be in terms of securing your goal?
Very. You see the table, then it's quite clear. But our approach will not change. Our approach is we want to win every game. Doesn't matter who the opponent is.
And obviously the one standout player for Spurs season in, season out is Harry Kane. The problems he poses for you as a defence. How do you go about marshalling and limiting the impact he can have on this game?
It's quite clear. His impact on the game from Spurs, yeah. And yeah, we have a plan, of course, before for that. And yeah, home game we did very well. So for tomorrow we need that very good plan as well. You have to defend them as a team, and he's a clever player. So don't allow him to come in the situations. He can have a big impact on the game.
Rob.
Erik, you spoke about bouncing back there and the setbacks you've had this season. How impressed in terms of what you've got character-wise in the group, that games like the Brentford match, you followed it up with a win, the defeat at Anfield, you followed it up with a win. What does that say about your players, do you think?
That they are resilient, and so they are able to do it. And that's not easy, but they can do it. And now we have to make the next step to do it, also in games where you get a setback. And maybe you can even have a bad setback, but then also show the character and personality that you, in the game, bounce back.
The question was also asked about what you say to players after you've had a defeat. But how important is it that you sometimes leave them, and that maybe the Tottenham players, it's the same this week, that they have to come together and speak about turning things around, and it's not always on a manager to try and get the best out of his squad?
No. But so I'm not in a position. I'm not the Spurs manager. I'm the Man United manager. So we are in another place. But I have to make sure that our players are ready for tomorrow and facing a good opponent. So it's a good team, good players, and we are in a certain circumstance. And I have to make sure that they are focused and have energy and are front foot to go into battle.